Hey everybody, I'm Rob Childs, a Rapier swordsman out of the United States, and today I'm going to be talking to you about how to be the best judge for a HEMA tournament. Now, when it comes to being a judge at these tournaments, that is a very important role, and it requires a skill set that is entirely separate from that of fencing itself. I have been to some of the best judged HEMA tournaments around the world, and even at these really well-run and well-judged tournaments, I can only expect an accuracy rating of about 60% when it comes to judges being able to see and truly judge the action that just occurred in front of them. That means at the other tournaments that I've been to, the accuracy rating has been considerably less than 60%. So in an effort to try and help my fellow fencers and fellow judges for these HEMA tournaments, I want to share with you 4 tips that I make sure that I am exercising whenever I'm the one who's serving in the role as a judge. Quick shout out to my newest Patreon supporters. Appreciate you guys. Many hands make for light work. And as such, I want to give a quick shout out and a thank you to all of the Patreon supporters who are helping to make this possible. You guys are helping considerably, and I can tell you that we have recently purchased the first building that's going to be going onto the Tiger Castle property. You guys will be seeing an update video on that very soon. So thanks again. And if you are not yet signed up and you want to get access to exclusive update videos on the castle progress, as well as exclusive video content on fencing, then please sign up to the Patreon. It's called Castle and Sword. You can see the link for it in the description of this video. The first tip to making sure that you're the best HEMA judge you can be is that you have to position yourself on a perpendicular line to that of the two fencers. This ensures that you are always going to be able to see the action of both fencers as it occurs at the same time. Now, if you look at the picture here, if your point of view was the same as that of the camera, this is clearly not an ideal position for you to be in order to accurately judge the action that is occurring. The fencer who is facing you, sure, maybe you can see some of that action, maybe you can't, because the person whose back is to you is going to, on occasion, as they're moving, block your view of the other fencer. Now, taking that other fencer whose back is to you into account, remember, you're not going to see anything that the other fencer lands on this person precisely because it's happening on the other side of their body. Now, if you look at this photo, here you can see the director is in an ideal position in relation to the two fencers. This person is going to be able to see when one fencer or the other is moving. They're going to be able to see both fencers as the action is occurring. And if you look at the judge on the other side, that person too has taken care to make sure that they are also in an ideal perpendicular position to the action in order to see everything that is happening. The second tip to making sure you're the best HEMA judge you can be is make sure that you are moving with the fencers. Fencing is an action that is not happening like on the Olympic fencing strip where both fencers are going to simply be moving forward and back. No. In these HEMA tournaments, we're talking about fencers that are moving in the round, and that means as they move, in order to maintain your ideal perpendicular position to the action that is occurring, you have to move with them. Now, sometimes you may encounter another judge who is judging the same bout that you are, and they're not moving. Feel free to move past them if you have to, and that will, at the very least, remind that judge that they too should be moving if they want to make sure that they're in a position to accurately call the action as it occurs. So the third tip to helping you become the best HEMA judge that you can be is don't blink. Now, speaking purely from a Rapier perspective, because I am a Rapier-centric kind of guy, I can tell you that an experienced fencer can make a thrusting attack and recover in less time than it takes you to blink. Fencing across Rapier happens in literal fractions of a second, as is the case with any other weapon that you use in a thrusting fashion. So if you happen to blink at the moment that that occurred, then you completely miss the action. So instead, my tip for you is to narrow the eyes. This will ensure that you don't have to blink quite as often because it will help to keep your eyes hydrated. And by keeping your eyes hydrated and not having to blink as often, it ensures that you're seeing the most amount of the action at the time that it occurs. The fourth and final tip that I will offer you is make sure that you are watching the center of mass of the action, not one fencer or the other. I cannot tell you the number of times that I've been to a tournament and I was watching the judging that was occurring at the time because I just want to make sure or at least have an idea about the kind of accuracy that I can expect when I'm the competitor. But I would see judges time and time again who would be watching one fencer and then watching the other and shifting their gaze from left to the right. But the problem with that, of course, is that if you were watching one fencer, when the action is engaged by the other fencer, because it is movement, it will naturally draw your eyes. And in that moment that you are shifting your gaze, you are essentially blind to what is happening. So instead, watch the center of mass of the action that is occurring. Trust me, when the two fencers get closer together, that they're actually able to engage in attacks, you're going to be able to see everything. And by not focusing on one person or the other, you are ensured to see not only who is moving first and where that action is going, but you see the entirety of the action happening within your field of view. So again, watch the center of mass of the action, not one fencer or the other. So that's it. I hope you found this video useful. As always, if you have any questions, you can reach out to me on Facebook. You can reach out to me in the comment section on the YouTube channel. I am more than happy to answer those questions and help any way I can.